Hello, my name is Matt Irvin. I'm an English professor at the University of the South, and we're presenting John Lydgate's Disguising at Hertford, which I'm not sure if it has been performed since 1427, but the occasion of it was New Year's at Hertford Castle, which was in the possession of Catherine de Valois, the widow of Henry V and mother of Henry VI. At the same moment that this play was being presented, well, not right at the same moment, but around the same time, during this time, Parliament was debating whether or not, or actually how best to make sure that Catherine de Valois did not get remarried. She was considered a liability in terms of what she might spawn. What she eventually did spawn were the Tudors, which, as we know, turned out fine for England and the Catholic Church, and for cable television. We wanted to imagine this particular disguising because it's for so long it has not been thought of as really a fully dramatic piece in the context of different kinds of performance around, especially around the New Year, in the context of dance, in the context of costuming as art, and in the context of well, essentially wrestling, which were oftentimes the kind of festive celebrations that would take place either at May Day or at New Year's. These students that you see before you are students in two of our classes. This is Jennifer Matthews. She is a professor in the theater department who did all the costuming in collaboration with the students. The students here are either part of the English 350 medieval drama class or part of a research class that the two of us are co-teaching involved in medieval drama. So 3 of them have been on stage. This play is presented entirely in Middle English, and it's set up in the way in which the Great Hall at Hertford Castle would be approximately for our space, which is that there would be a dais here, and there would be tables with people right up close to the action. So you guys are a little bit, if there's any way we can move sort of this way or in, you'll get a much better view. We're not playing for the full 360 round. So if you want to move in this way and kind of pile a bit, that would probably be best.
It is brief.
Yeah, and it's very brief. It's only about 15 minutes.
We're not in the way here, right?
Yeah, you can come right up to the table.
In a perfect world, we'd set up a banquet hall for you.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we would have a full banquet for you with, full cooked geese, but our budget, alas. Way of the way, alas. Thank you very much. We give you the Disguising at Hertford.
Most noble prince, with support of your grace, here bound enter into your royal place. Of late in coming into your castle, your fallen agent, which like nothing will. Here in the vigil of this new year, certain swains full forward of their chair, of intent coming, fallen on their knee, for to complain unto your majesty on the mischief of great adversity, upon the trouble and the cruelty that they have endured in their labours by the fellness of their fierce waves. Which is a torment very impartible, a bond of sorrow, not unrenewable. For whosoever is bound or locked in marriage, if he be old, he falleth in dotage, and young folks of their limbs but splendor, grey and lusty and brown but tender, philosophers call in such an age a shield to weave a woodness or a ranch. They affirm there is no earthly strength may be compared to wedding of a week. Who that ever standeth in this cast, he with his respect may sing full of alas, like as those hens here standing one by one, he may with them upon the dance go, learn the trust both at eve and morrow of Kerry Cantal in torment and in sorrow. Well, the way, alas, that he was born, for over the rave that goeth all too far, he plaineth sore. His marriage is not meet, for his wife, Beatrice bittersweet. Cast on him an only cheer, poor Ralph, when he cometh home, full weary from the plough, with hungry stomach, dead and pale of cheer, in hopes to find ready his denier. Considered Beatrice, bowling at the Nile, or she that giveth him no manner tale, for she all day, with her jokesy now, hath for the colic hopped in the bowl. And for headache, with pepper and ginger, drink gold ale, to make her throat clear. Then cometh her home, when it draweth to eve, and then Robin, the silly poor rave, find none amends of harm and nae damage, but lean gruel and super cold potage. This from his wife hath none other cheer, but cook-a-words into his supper. This is his service, sitting at the board, and silly Robin, if he spake a word, the Beatrice of him doth so little reek, but with her distaff she hitteth him on the neck, with such a medicine to chafe his blood, for such a mater to shape and hood. And Colin Cobbler, following his fellow, hath for his part of the same law. For I would faith that the praise of his wife hath taught him to play at the staff. Her quarter stroke was so large and round that on his reed the touch was always found. Cicely Sourcheer, Cecily's precious spouse, could him hate when he came to house. If he but spake when he felt pain, again, one word always had she twain. With him ever there was no thing to seach, 6 for one of word, one stroke is each. There was no mean between him for to go, but ever he won, clouting old Sean the weekday. Plainly, this is no tale. She would on Sunday drink it at the nail. His heart was moved. He said not only nay, it is no game, but an earnest play. For lack of wit, a man his wife to grieve. These husbands, whoso could him leave, could if they durst tell in audience what wives there have done to do an offence, is none so old or ribald in her bass, with tongue or staff that she dare menace. Mabel, God her save and bless, could with her lips bear hair of weakness, words, strokes on half on hardy grass, and with sharp nails crashing in the bass. I may thus, when the distaff is broke, weaves with their fisties wove in row. Blessed be those men who can in such offense meekly suffer, take long patience, tender such weekly purgatory, heaven for their means to reign in their glory. God grant all husbands that be only in this class to swing heaven for his holy grace. Next in order, this butcher, stout and bold, who hath killed bulls and boars old. This Bartholomew, for all his broad knee, yet durst he never, with his sturdy weave, in no manner hold Champarte, and if he did, she would none defy. His pomp, his prayed with a stern thought, and suddenly setting him at naught. Though his belly were rounded like an oak, she would not fail to give the first stroke. For proud Pernell, like a champion, would take her puddings in a great cauldron, suffer him boil, and take of him none heed, but with her skimmer reach them on the head. She would pay him, and make no delay, but bid him go play a 20 devil way. She was no coward found at such a need. Her fist full up had made his cheek as bleed. And whatever quarrel that he against her set, she cast her not to dying in his debt. She made no tale, but quit him by and by. His quarter sold, she paid him faithfully. Now the lodges, with all her best intent, she made thereof noon assignment. Agnes, Tom Tinker, with all his pans old, and all the wares of Banbury that he sold. His stick, his hammer, and his bag for tough, he brought up in arms when he fought with his weight. He found for hast no better buckler. Upon his sake, this that came so near. Her name was clept Thibaut's Tapestry. To brawn and broil, she had no manner fair. To tick his pilch, stood the meal now and then, thicker than Tom would clout in any pan. This is the complaint that these dotards old make on their weaves that be so stout and bold. These holy martyrs, brave, patient, lowly, beseeching in all her best intent unto your noble royal majesty, to grant him franchise and also liberty. Since they be both wounded better in marriage, a safe conduct to save him from damage. Egg, under support of your high renown, grant him also a protection, for conquest of weaves is roamed throughout the land, claiming the right to have in the higher hand. But if you read list of your regally, the Old Testament, or to modify, and of their list assailing their request, these husbands might live in rest. Their weaves, for all their fair meat, will meddle mercy with their wreath. For it came never of nature ne reason, the lioness to oppress the lion, ne'er the wolfness for all her tyranny over the wolf to having the mastery. There being now wolfnesses more than 2 or 3, the book is record which that yonder be. Seeing to this matter of mercy and of grace, and these daughters we part out of this place, to shape on them a remedy, or else they be likely to stand in jeopardy. It is no game with weaves for to play, but for fools who give no force today.
Touching the substance of this high discord, where 5 weaves being full of on accord, if word and chiding may us not avail, where will daring it in shot loose by battle?
Depart our blood, or else frost.
And for our party the worthy reef of Bath can shew statutes smooth in 6 or 7, how weaves make your husbands win heaven. Maugre the fiend in all his feelings, for their virtue of perfect patience, pertaineth not to weaves nowadays.
Some other husbands to make a say.
Their patience was buried long ago. Griselda's story recorded plainly so. It longeth us to clappen as a meal, no counsel kept, the truth outtell. We bear not born by heavenly influence of our nature to keep us in silence.
For this is no joke. Every prudent, fleet, patriotic, hair and all manner straight.
Those dotards with their dogged beardes, which strutted out as they were made of hairdes, have against us a great quarrel now set. He trod the back and was never of infant, away at Dunmow in the friary. They wane of us to have I the mastery.
Alas, these fools! Let them answer their toast. Who can him wash, and him ring also.
Oh, ring him, ye ring, so all's got a spade. Till that sometime we make Hernese's blade. And so our clothes when they be torrent, and clothe your backies till some of us be shent. Lo, yet those fools God give him sorry chance to set our weaves under governance, make us to him for to law. But we know to wield the bent of Jackie's bow. All that we claim it but reaped. And if they say nay, let private out be feeked. We will us spy not upon womanhead, or spy on him cowards when it cometh to need. We claim mastery by prescription, be long title of succession from weef to weef, which we will not less. Men may wheel gruge, but they shall not chaise. Custom is for us nature and usions, to set your husband's life in great noises. Humbly beseeching, now to word and to our liege and most sovereign lord, us to defend of his regally, and of his grass sustain our party, requiring the statute of old antiquity, that in your time it may confirm it beg.
This noble prince, most royal of its stock, having an eye to this mortal debauch. First, adverting of full high prudence, will on a visit give here no sentence without counsel. Of haste to proceed be sudden doom. For he taketh heed to either party, as judge indifferent. Seeing the peril of hasty judgment, purposeth him in this continued strife to give no sentence thereof definitive till their bayonet examination of either party and inquisition. He considereth as he maketh praise on him, as able judge and cleaning to nose. Notwithstanding, he hath compassion of the poor husband's tribulation, so oft arrested with their grievous ruckus, which of their distaffs have so many knockers. Having also in his regally the law that women allege for their party. Custom, nature, and each prescription, statute used by confirmation, process and that of team out of me, record of chronicles, witness of her kings. Wherefore, the king, all this next year, will that we, franchise, stand full and entier, and no man withstand it, nay withdraw, till man may think some process out be law, that they should by natural in their leaves have sovereignty on their prudent leaves. A thing uncouth, which was never found. Let men beware therefore ere they be bound. The bond is hard. Whoso that looketh will. Some men were lever fettered, bound and still. Grandson meek help his pain to assuage, but who is wedded leaveth ever in servage. And eke no never, nowhere fair, no ne'er, man that was glad to be in him prisoner. Though that his prison, his castle, or his hold, were depainted with azure, or with gold. no idea. It's Lydgate. We're looking for 8,000 yards left.